So is body image something that only women struggle with? That's what I'm going to explore in today's video. As ever, if you're new here, I'd really love you to subscribe to my channel. I'm starting to grow now and getting some traction, which is really, really great. I'm really passionate about getting positive message out there about the ways that I feel. And my message is all about how I still struggle and so can you. Not look at me and look what I've overcome and so can you. It's about an us conversation and a we conversation, and I'd love you to join it. So as ever, please make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications so you know each and every time I post a video. But today's topic is Mental Health Awareness Week, and so the main focus point this year is body image. And it'd be really, really easy, right, to think that body image is quite a predominantly female issue. And I'm just going to kind of explore that today and just have a quick conversation about what body image means to me and the struggles that I do have with it. So I am somebody that struggles with the ways that I look. I think I hide that. I hide it quite well. I hide it with a bit of a confidence, right? When the reality is that I do very much overanalyze the ways that I look, right? And my struggle with body image has so much to do with my perceptions, right? And I know that because if I'm waking up in the morning and I feel quite good, I can look in the mirror and be very happy and confident with the ways that I look. And then literally 5 minutes later, as my perception of my mood alters, I can then become quite disgruntled and upset with the ways that I look. My body image has changed a lot, certainly over the last 7 years, as I've had times when I've really struggled with my emotions and my feelings. And as somebody who doesn't drink and use drugs, food is a really good escape for me. And so I've had periods of time where I've escaped into that, and then it becomes like this vicious toxic cycle, right? Where I kind of overeat and then feel shameful about the way that I look, and then so I eat on that shame, and then you're in that cycle, right? And that can be kind of difficult to break. It's a difficult habit to break. And I do have a tendency to over scrutinize the ways that I look, right? And it's very easy in today's world, isn't it, to measure ourselves up against other people, right? I think a lot of us do that. There's always this feeling that we want to get to the next stage, right? And for me, a lot of that as well comes with this perfectionism, right? Which is something that I do a lot of work on now. Some of us, like me, you know, I had an alcoholic father. I grew up, you know, I lost him when I was 9 years old. And though I never really had these conscious memories of feeling like I needed to be good enough, I can see that pattern playing out in my life, right? And the physical side of that is just another, is an aspect to that, right? If I can be good enough, then people will love me enough. And when you become shame-based, like I have done for a lot of my life, then that struggle is real, yeah? And it becomes all-encompassing, the ways that I look, the ways that I act, the ways that I am. And, you know, I do have days when I look in the mirror and feel like I just look a mess, right? And feel like everybody's going to be looking at me and thinking that I don't look good enough, right? And that's difficult, particularly as a man, right? Because we're supposed to be confident and we're supposed to not worry about the ways that we look. I think men in general, we cope with our struggle with body image in a different way. You know, the times when I have gone a little bit overweight, I started creating that character of it's all bought and paid for, and I love a good curry on a Saturday night, and that's more important than anything else, right? And rather than being honest and sort of vulnerable about it, I became that character who was slightly larger, and I took on that personnel, right? When the reality is that I was really struggling with it, and I really struggled with the ways that I feel. There's always somebody out there better than us, right? There's always somebody out there that looks better. I do feel like, in terms of the ways that I train and the ways that I work out, striving, there can be a healthy strive for more and a healthy strive to improve. But the ways that I work out today, I try to make them much more emotional and mental health focused rather than looking at my body. Because when I first started working out properly, like 5 or 6 years ago, I was very, very focused on the ways that I felt, and I obsessed about it. I obsessed about my weight, I obsessed about the ways that I looked in the mirror, and I obsessed about my body fat. That led to obsessions around my food, which was kind of a really, really unhealthy way of thinking. And at my best, when I was in my best shape and I had all my abs popping out and all that kind of stuff, the reality is that I wasn't anywhere near as physically fit as I am now. You know, it's impossible to separate mental and physical health for me. We have to take them all as one. I do feel like sometimes there can be a good importance on focusing on the ways that I look. When I'm really struggling to control the ways that I feel, sometimes I do start to focus on the ways that I look, right? And that can help me. It can make me feel better when I look better. There is truth in that. I guess in a lot of ways it's about inclusion, right? When I feel like I look good, I'll feel good. But when I feel good, then I'll often feel like I look good, right? So I just live to include both of these things, right? I live for a bit of inclusion. I care about the ways that I look. I care about the ways that I feel. But let's remove the idea that men shouldn't struggle with the ways that they feel. I 100% struggle with the ways that I feel. I have bad hair days when I think my hair looks terrible. I'll have days when I'll wear something that I wear all the time and I think I look stupid in it and it's time to throw it in the bin. And then I'll wear it a few days later and I'll think I love it. For me, I make sure I don't become too overwhelmed with it. And if I get too caught up in it, then I realise there's work to do. We're all trying to make our way. We all struggle with the ways that we look and the ways that we feel. And if you struggle with the ways that you look as a man, then I'm here to tell you that that's normal. It's okay to want to look good, yeah? And it's okay to look in the mirror sometimes and feel like you don't look good. We all go through it, right? And we all struggle like that together.